Richard Lobenberg with Yellow Gazebo Natural Healthcare in Toronto. I'm a registered acupuncturist and TCM practitioner. I'm here today with Olja Keserovic. She's our naturopathic doctor in charge of general family medicine. Olja, we are here today, as you know, to talk about the immune system and how naturopathic medicine can help with immunity. So, okay, if I were someone that came to you and said I want my immune system boosted, that's my main concern, what would you do? Where would we proceed?
Yes. I would start with looking at their diet. I would ask them to bring a diet diary, a few days worth of diet diary, just to see the details of what they're eating and when, and the combination of foods.
So you have them fill out a form and maybe even do a diet diary ahead of time?
Or they can just come in with that. They can just use a blank piece of paper and just write down a few days worth. And then I would, make a more specific suggestions. But for today, I can give you a few tips on the diet.
For the video. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, what are your tips?
So I would recommend fermented foods, and one of them that's easy to find is miso soup. Any Japanese restaurant, health food store will have it, and it's very cost effective. It comes in bags, bigger bags, and you just use a tiny amount.
It comes in powdered form, right?
I buy it in a paste form, and you just use like a half a tablespoon per cup. It's very healthy, it's fermented, it has probiotics in it, and also the complete protein.
And the probiotics in fermented foods, some people say they're better than taking just a probiotic pill. Is that correct?
I always prefer food source, but some people like to supplement food items, and so not all probiotics are found in kefir, so it's really specific to the condition. Let's say somebody has diarrhea, you might need to buy a specific probiotic that helps specifically for diarrhea. But if it's a general health promotion, immune boosting, you could really focus on the foods.
Okay, great.
And other fermented foods are sauerkraut. You want to try to find the non-pasteurized ones. The Mennonite source is one, and I found it actually in Metro, so you can find them.
Really?
Yeah. Now, sometimes the truth is not really what you're told, but I was told it's actually non-pasteurized.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Other things you can incorporate into your diet easily is shiitake mushrooms, which you can buy in most stores.
Not just any mushrooms, but shiitake?
Shiitake specifically, or you can supplement. Now supplements in the pill form, they're quite expensive, and I do recommend that for specific people who have really challenged immune systems, but if it's just prevention, you can easily get it through just cooking with that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Other than that, now that the colder season is here, I would say stay away from tropical fruits. They're cooling, and you want to add some warming foods. And to get a more specific list of warming foods, you want to see either a Chinese doctor or a naturopath. But some foods that are warming would be the meats and most spices, the ginger, for example. If you're having lemon and honey in a tea, which are more cooling, you add the ginger to balance that.
I like how you're talking about eating seasonally. I think that's a great thing that we often overlook. We want to eat all the same foods all the time, but really different foods during the year can actually really help our bodies a lot more. Right?
For sure. You want to eat in the season if at all possible.
Okay, great.
Yep. And other foods that we know about already are the garlics and the onions and foods like that if you can eat them raw, which is ideal, you can, lightly
So
cook them.
Garlic, onions, leeks, that
whole family.
Okay.
Yes, garlic you ideally want to crush and wait a few minutes because that activates the enzymes in the garlic.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've heard that. Okay.
Yeah. Now, in terms of sugar is the big no-no in terms of the immune system, and a teaspoon of sugar supposedly stalls your immune system for about 3 hours. So
Wow.
it doesn't mean you can't have anything sweet. The safest sweet food that I would recommend is the raw unpasteurized honey, and that's really a health food. And you can mix it with tahini, and you get a nice little dessert.
And now, what about fruit sugars? Do fruit sugars?
You can go for fruit. Fruit can be overdone, and it often is, but you can have 1 to 2 pieces of fruit a day,
Okay.
and that's totally
More than that, the fructose might
yes.
be a bit of an overload.
Yeah, if you're having grapes, you can't have as many grapes as you can have blueberries. Blueberries,
Mhm.
berries in general are lower on the glycemic index, but
Mhm.
fruit is great. If you're craving something sweet, go for fruit.
Okay.
Yeah. And honey, back to the honey and walnuts is really tasty.
Right.
If you want to have hot chocolate, make your own. Just buy cocoa, mix it with maybe coconut sugar or xylitol, and with
Yeah,
some
or
milk of your
stevia.
choice, stevia.
Yeah.
And you can give it to your kids, they won't even notice the difference.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in terms of spices, I mentioned spices, turmeric, everybody knows about turmeric and being a really good antioxidant. Cinnamon is very nice for this season, flu season, and it also balances the blood sugar. So
Right.
there's a lot that you can find in your cupboard and
Okay.
keep your diet.
I really like how you say base what you're doing on food sources. There's obviously a lot of advice that you can give people in terms of what they can do at home to help boost their immune system, as opposed to necessarily taking a whole lot of medicine. But they should probably start by coming to see you and getting an assessment so you can individualize recommendations. Is that a good
For
idea?
sure. If you are struggling, let's say you're vegetarian and you're not sure how to, you don't want to eat the meat, and how do you get your protein, this is a good place to ask.
Right, every individual will have specific wants and needs.
Yeah, or
and-
you
yeah.
dislike some of these foods, what should you do? Also, for non-food items, for example, vitamin D is very difficult to get alone in the diet, especially in Canada. Here, even if it's sunny, the sun doesn't fall at the right angle. Most of us are deficient if we're not supplementing. So for something like that, I highly recommend you see a professional. I recommend a blood test first, and based on that blood test, I decide on the dosage. Because not only do you want to be safe, but you want to be effective. I find that most people take some, but they don't take enough. They don't take appropriate quantities.
Right, okay.
So the vitamin D is very important for me.
Now, if someone wants to discuss with you, they can do a quick little consultation with you?
Yes, they can come in for the full visit. Well, they would have to come for full visit first, and then the subsequent visits are shorter, and we could focus on.
But if they just have a couple of general questions?
Oh, they can come in. I offer 15-minute free visit. Just
great.
come in and talk to me.
That's great. All right, well, thank you so much, Olja.
Thank you.
So we'll give Olja's email address. You can contact her, as well as the number for the clinic as well. Thank you so much, Olja, and have a happy fall and winter.